I just started this course on a website called Udemy. UDAT. I think it stands for U Academy or something, but it's spelled interestingly. Anyways, it's on communication, and so that is what I want to bring about to talk about today. Some of the things that I'm learning about communication. Two main things. Number one is going for it, as in showing up. So often in school, I never wanted to like raise my hand to ask a question because I was going to feel uncomfortable or afraid of perceived judgment or anything like that. So step number one is just showing up. So important for communication because nothing can happen if nothing is expressed. Um, you can communicate a little bit through like body language. There are other modes of communication rather than just spoken, but you get the point. Um, and the other thing that I wanted to talk about, which I also just was introduced in this course, but I kind of always felt it, and that had to do with like the what would you call it? The thing around the main message. It's like the way that it is presented, but um, it's the cultivation of the space before you communicate your point, whatever your point might be. And so I don't know if I made that super clear. So let me try and go at it again. And it has to do with, let's say you want to just present a point. It's not always the person who is the most clearest, concise, and just spitting out the thing that does the best job. So if I want to ask for a raise, I'm just like, hey boss, can I have a raise? This, and this, and these are the reasons. Maybe that could be helpful, but more often than not, at least from what I'm hearing, is so much goes into the background of that communication, as in what is. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm realizing I don't have a perfect grasp of it, or at least I can't properly articulate it at this moment. But the analogy that jumped into my mind while I was hearing this was about sowing a seed. Sowing that seed would be, so to speak, showing up. You got to sow the seed. You have to, in order for something to grow, in order for something to come out of it. But at the same time, you got to watch where you put it. Like if you're just throwing these things everywhere, it could land on some rocks and it's not going to grow. So you must take time to cultivate the ground, and really be careful where you're putting in this seed, where you're putting in this idea. And I really like that thought. I knew, like, in a deeper part of me knew that was true, because as he was saying it, I was like, well, yes, of course, of course. But I'd never had that articulated to me. And so, yeah, first off, show up. That is the most important. And it's scary. Gosh, I'm like thinking to myself in so many areas where I don't show up. I am like I'm like finally got around to like presenting videos, which I held back from for a long time, but communicating directly with people, and like when I am in an environment and I just want to like go up and talk to someone, so often I'm held back. So moving forward, like showing up is so important, cannot be emphasized enough. But at the same time, also, as you're working with that, work on like that analogy or metaphor sort of expressed is cultivate that ground. Um, don't just go in there like forcefully all the time. I got to work on intertwining these ideas. Context is important, and I need to better understand them. But I'm getting this out there. I'm working on communication. I know it's not the best. I know I still need to work out these ideas, but I'm never going to get to the point where I'm the best communicator without, stumbling along the way to try and work on these things. So yes, thank you for watching this. And as I'm going through these lectures on communication, I'll keep you guys updated with tips and tricks on communicating well.